Hey guys, it's Reed from Emerald Lotus Divination, and today we are going to be doing my year ahead tarot spread to kind of get some insights for the collective, for anybody watching this, some insights into what you can expect as major themes in 2021. So if you feel guided to watch this reading at this time, know that this message is for you if you're watching it at the beginning of the year or at any other time. There may be something in this reading that you are meant to hear. So open mind and let's get into it. So this year ahead tarot spread I've already done for myself personally, and I wanted to do it for the collective. Interestingly enough, I did this spread last year on December 30th, 2019, and my card for the year ahead was the Tower reversed. 2020, I got the Tower reversed. I have no words. I think we can all agree that it makes sense. So this year ahead tarot spread, I am going to be using one of my favorite decks, which is the Star Seeker Oracle by the Van Mystic, or Nikki. This deck I mention all the time is one of my absolute favorite decks, and I will of course have the deck creator and this deck linked down below if you want to check it out, give it a purchase. This is one of the decks that I just always recommend, top 3 favorite tarot decks, and it's one that I just absolutely adore using for my personal tarot readings. I don't usually read with it for clients. It's like my special deck that no one else gets, you know? But today you guys are getting it, so let's get into this reading. The first card in this reading is a card to represent my year ahead as a whole. So we're just going to give her a little shuffle. Just want to also say Happy New Year to you guys. Oh, there we go. Oh my goodness. I actually just pulled this card yesterday. I had it upright yesterday, and today as our card to represent our year ahead as a whole, we're getting it reversed. So this card coming reversed, I love to read Nikki's description for this one because it's such a unique card. And the funny thing is that since I actually did genuinely pull this card yesterday, I mean, you can see it in my phone. I don't know if it's gonna show up, but it says yesterday at 1:21 p.m. I pulled this card, and I took a picture of the guidebook because I posted it on my story. So I don't think you can see it, but the message of this card is just so beautiful. I won't read the entire thing, but I will read a little bit for you. So it says, I am here, waiting and receiving in passive hibernation. I'm not ready to transform, though I am not resisting. I am surrendering. I wait and I am open. I embrace and I allow myself to grow, to ebb, to flow with the natural rhythm and progression of life. I wait. So basically it's saying that things are moving even if you're not aware of it yet. So for now, just observe, absorb, and flow, and you'll know when it's time to take action. So the reverse card is actually representing feeling impatience and potentially trying to force that energy that just wants to rest. So a major theme of 2021, which I have been sensing for myself personally, and clearly other people are as well, because this is a collective reading. This year is really going to be about taking time for ourselves and relaxing and doing almost the opposite of what we did in 2020, which was definitely reacting. For me, I found 2020 was a very reactive year. I kept trying to keep up and do things and make sure I was getting paid and make sure that I had, you know, my basic needs met essentially in 2020, which I think everyone kind of felt, at least for a brief period of time. And it was exhausting and draining because it felt so out of our control. And so this year, I think it's very important that now that we've kind of settled into this energy, even though it is still very uncertain and it is still very scary, we've had time now to cope with it. And now it's really the time that instead of trying to force change and force things to happen in 2021, we just have to really learn the importance and the value of patience, silence, and just going inward and having those moments to ourselves where we aren't necessarily looking externally for things to happen to feel satiated and joyful, and knowing that this time of relaxation and slowing down and accepting that we're not having as much action this year is actually going to be in our great benefit moving forward. Because sometimes I think it's such a big misconception in our world where if we aren't being productive and we aren't making huge leaps and changes and, you know, we're not moving forward, as they say, that means that we're not doing enough and we're not doing something right. But I think a huge lesson of 2021, I know for myself personally, is going to be about recognizing that there is always forward movement, even if you are not physically moving. And that stillness, that finding that inner place within, that womb energy, like Nikki has in the card here, finding that inner womb energy where you can grow and become nourished and feel whole just based on what you're doing in that present moment, not based on anything outside of yourself. That is the type of energy that we're going to want to be connecting to in 2021 so that we can actually do more in 2022 and moving forward. This is a restorative year where we're kind of building, and it's interesting actually having the Tower reversed as my card last year and now having this womb energy. So the Tower reversed was, you know, trying to move with all these changes, and now we're really just trying to sit with it instead of trying to react and rebuild and accept all this change and move. It's just time to stop and slow down and just not force it and not be impatient if things don't move as quickly as you'd like them to in 2021. So patience is one of the major keys of 2021 for sure. I love that card came up for us. Even in a reverse placement, I think it's still beautiful. The next card in our reading is going to be an important lesson for me this upcoming year. Oh, goodness gracious, I'm sorry. An important lesson for us as a collective in the upcoming year. We're getting a lot of cards wanting to come out here. Okay, so Six of Cups, Emperor energy, and we've got some Page of Pentacles energy as well. Looking back to the past and really relearning what it is that brings us joy and what makes us happy and what once brought us joy. And that paired with, oh, it's the King of Pentacles. I think I might have said the Emperor actually when I first saw this. Oh, even better. So that paired with the King of Pentacles will mean that we really are satiated and happy with what we have this year. And we need to really find that within what we already have instead of looking externally, similar to this kind of womb reversed card. And this also coming with the Page of Pentacles reversed is indicating to us that we really need to find, again, coming with the Six of Cups, our passion and what we once felt a lot of joy towards. And this might be something that we had a lot of joy towards in our youth or when we were younger, earlier in life, at any point really. And just kind of recognizing that this joy and what actually brings us joy and what actually fuels us to move forward is what's going to help us get to this King of Pentacles place where we feel very, very stable and secure, financially independent and set up. So it's important for us right now to kind of look backwards, which is actually not always something that I say in a year ahead reading necessarily, but it is important to connect with our past self and what we've kind of pushed aside in favor of the material and the rat race of moving forward. So this is a really important time for us, like I said, I feel like a million times, to pay attention to the past, what brought us joy, what continues to bring us joy, and kind of relearn what can we do to help re-spark that joy, because that's really what's going to get us to a place of understanding this King of Pentacles energy and bringing us toward that King of Pentacles energy, which likely will not come in 2021, but it will be definitely in the foreground, and it'll be something that eventually we'll look back and say that made sense. And it's funny because as I said that, I looked at my recording button on my camera and the time said 11:11. So absolutely, there's a lot of blessings that are going to be coming, especially in the future. But right now it's really important to focus on why we're doing what we're doing and why it brings us joy. And so that's going to be a really important part of 2021, which really fits in very, very well, of course, with the womb reversed as well. So instead of trying to move forward and to figure things out and to have all the answers, we just need to look inside and say, what is it that makes me happy? What is it that I want to spend my life doing? If I'm stuck in a situation like we're stuck in with quarantine, or having to be distant from people that we love and not being able to travel and do some of the things that we loved before, what type of meaning can I find in my life that I don't need these external things for? What kind of joy can I find in my own personal practice? Is that journaling? Is that tarot? Is that creating something? Is that exercise? Is that honestly absolutely anything in your life that brings you joy. I know for myself personally, this reading already resonates so greatly, because one of my major goals for 2021 is to kind of re-fall in love with what I do all the time, and reading for people, and especially as it relates to tarot, I feel like I've been really stepping back from that, and I've kind of lost why I like it. So it's going to be something very meaningful to me to kind of rediscover my interests. Maybe that means learning something new, taking a course. Same for you guys. Maybe that means taking a course, jumping in, getting a book, doing anything you can to really rediscover and reignite a passion that you once held that you feel like you may have lost. Next up is how I can progress on my spiritual path. So how can we really progress on our spiritual path in 2021? I'm looking for just one card here, one card that really just says it all. How can we progress? Okay, Five of Wands. This was one of my cards actually that I got in this reading as well. So we really need to just stop comparing ourselves to others. I know right now with social media and with the rise of being so connected while being so distant from people, we really get such a jaded sense of how other people are doing. So I feel that some people might look at me and my business and everything that I do and say, wow, I wish I could do that. I wish I had done that. And from my own personal perspective, I do not make a lot of money from my business. I actually just really burn out quite often because I do way too many things for not enough money, essentially. And so, but what might look nice online, to me personally, I look at other people and say, wow, maybe I should have, changed some things about my business, and maybe I should have done what they're doing, and maybe I should be posting more regularly or changing this, or, there's just always that feeling that we want to compare ourselves to other people. And it might be the fact that other people have financial freedom. It might be that other people seem happier in their relationship, but it's really important this year that we don't actually compare ourselves to other people, and we again just go inward. Instead of trying to move to where other people are, we need to meet ourselves where we are and recognize that it isn't a competition. We don't need to fight with other people. We don't need to compare ourselves to other people in order to move forward, and we really just need to connect with why we do what we do and why it matters to us, and follow that instead of following what other people are doing. And that's really what's going to be helping us progress on our spiritual path in 2021. I love this depiction, by the way. I say that about all these cards in this deck, but seriously, I love that Five of Wands depiction. Gorgeous. And the fourth card is, how can I stay connected to my inner truth? So how can we stay connected to our inner truth in 2021? That was very fast. Eight of Swords. So stop feeling like we are the victim. Recognize that the only thing that's really holding us back in our own lives is not actually the comparison to other people or what other people are doing. Other people being successful isn't a reason for us to be held back or not good at something. Other people being in love doesn't mean that we won't be in love. Other people who are seemingly happier than we are doesn't mean that we don't have access to be happy. So this comparison game is really what's going to be holding us back, and victimizing ourselves in a way. Just because we might be taking it easy this year, there isn't any reason that we should feel like we are bound to be unsuccessful or not make progress this year. A lot of our progress, as I mentioned earlier, is going to be very subtle, and it's going to be a long-term project, essentially, or part of our long-term spiritual path, not immediate gratification. So it's important to recognize that Eight of Swords energy, that anxiety, that worry that we're not doing good enough, or that we're being held back by our circumstance. That's really going to get in our way. And we need to make sure that we kind of release those binds that we've set on ourselves, so that we can really connect to our inner truth. Because if we're looking at ourselves as a victim instead of looking at ourselves in an empowered sense, we're never really going to understand our inner truth, and we're never really going to get the messages that our soul wants us to receive. So it's very important that we don't play the victim in the year ahead, and instead we really connect with our power. And sit with it. If you do feel yourself falling into comparison or into a victim mentality of some sort, it's really important that you just take a step back, reevaluate why you're doing what you're doing, and go inward and recognize that if you go inward and spend that time working on yourself and just being with yourself, you'll notice that these things really fade away. That comparison and the feeling like a victim, it doesn't exist in that space. And that's something so wonderful about meditation and really connecting with yourself. And our final card for our 2021 year ahead tarot spread is what new opportunities await us this year. So as a collective, let's see what new opportunities really await us in 2021. We got a few there. I don't know if I'm feeling like that's really what I want to read though. They'll come back if they're meant to. One card, please. One card to really explain it. Okay, so we've got the Five of Pentacles coming reversed in this placement for an opportunity that awaits us, which is actually incredibly beautiful. The Five of Pentacles reversed says that this year we're going to be allowing ourselves the space to evaluate what is meaningful to us and what no longer serves us. So what are we putting all of our energy into that's not giving anything back to us? Is it going to be relationships? Is it going to be work? Is it going to be worry or anxiety, or this kind of feeling competitive with others, or feeling less than or victimized? We're going to realize that by putting all of our energy into those feelings and worrying about those things, we're not getting anything back from that. It isn't benefiting us at all. And so we're actually going to be reevaluating what it is that we get back from what we're giving out. And we're going to want to be more mindful about what it is we're giving out and be more intentional with our energy so that we aren't being sucked dry by other people or experiences. And by doing this, it's actually going to allow us, again, the space to kind of move into this King of Pentacles role moving forward, and get into that upright womb energy where we're not trying to push anything. We aren't trying to move forward. We aren't trying to be as productive as maybe we had been in the past. We're not trying to make things happen that aren't ready to happen. We're really just allowing the universe and trusting in the universe that it's going to be guiding us where we need to go. So instead of feeling like there isn't any support, that our guides are not with us, we're going to really feel that we are supported, and especially if we consciously make the decision. So if you need to come back to this video at any time in 2021 and re-watch this, re-get this lesson, I hope that you will, because I think I will be coming back to this reading because it felt very, very deep for me, especially where I'm standing in my life. So it's going to be actually a great year. This is a much nicer reading than the reading I got for 2020. I did not post the video of that one. There was like Devil reversed, Tower reversed. It was like a big, big mess. I got a few like health problems coming up in my readings. It was not fun. Whereas this one, it really just says that we're going to be reevaluating the way that we speak to ourselves, how we treat ourselves, and how we can realign with the things in our life that truly bring us joy and happiness, and that kind of inner wisdom, inner oneness that we can find within that's going to help propel us in the future. So even though right now we may not be feeling like we're making huge progress in our lives and we might feel stagnant and stuck, don't take that as feeling stagnant and stuck. Instead, transform and transmute that energy into feeling grounded and safe and peaceful. And that peace and inner happiness is going to trump all of the things that you could be doing in 2021. Finding that peace, that internal validation, structure, strength, happiness into what brings us joy, and spending time with that. All of that is really going to help move us forward in 2022 and really help us get where we want to go in life. Instead of feeling like we're really in this arms race, it's going to bring us to a place that we feel a lot more whole, satisfied, satiated, grounded, and present. And that in itself is the biggest gift we could ever ask for in this life. I know it often seems like love or money or things of the sort will really change our perspective and make our life so much better. But I think that so many people can agree that really the only thing that can make your life better is that internal happiness, that internal state, because no matter what you have or what you accomplish, if you're not happy on the inside, none of it matters. So my number one resolution for 2021 is to spend more days happy than sad, spend more time in the feeling of gratitude and happiness than any other emotion. I want to look back at the end of the year and say I spent the most amount of time feeling joy and happiness, even if everything around me crumbled, even if I wasn't doing the most with what I have or my potential. I just want to be able to look back and say I felt happy more than I felt any other emotion. And that to me will be a major success of 2021. And I hope that you guys will take that and maybe do what you will with it. Take that resolution for yourself, or just keep it in mind as you move ahead in the upcoming year. And I really, really hope that this reading resonated with you. Leave me a comment or send me a message and let me know if this resonated with you. And I just really hope all the best for you in 2021. I really hope that you don't try to fight, just feeling and just staying where you are and enjoying it. So thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.